You are listening to the Guard Your Eyes Daily Chizuk broadcast.
The problem is that we're silent dafka in this area, and we're giving over a terrible message to the children. Every single ma'ariv we say, Ki heim chayin v'arachim. Torah is a Torah's chayim. It's a Torah of life. And then dafka, when it comes to an area of life that affects everyone's life, that if it's not dealt with, can cause that life to become perverse and sick and distorted. So with children, we'll tell them, behind Bismorg, we'll talk about Hilchas Kashrus, Hilchas Shabbos. And we'll talk to them about there's a Klis Machtel Issa, Klis Machtel Issa Lahet. And we'll talk to them about Shnaim Arusim Metalis. And there's a Chazaka like this, and there's a Rive like that. And we'll learn with them all of these halachas. But the one thing in their life that from their earliest time, from when they're little boys, that they recognize as being my life, all of a sudden, not a word. And what they begin to pick up is that the Torah is irrelevant. The Torah doesn't speak to my life. And therefore, the stuff that I'm going to hear in Bav Mitzim, Bav Kama, Alachas Kama V'Kama, what does it have to do with me? The one thing in my life where I needed the Torah to talk to me, it never said a word to me. Davke, in the area of my life where I felt life, and I felt that I needed Hashem to help me, Hashem let me down. God forbid. The Torah let me down. There the Torah has nothing to say. My Rebbe never spoke to me about it. My father never spoke to me about it. Who spoke to me about it? The idiot on the bus, right? Or the guy on the television, on the iPhone, spoke to me about it. So they begin to pick up at an early age one thing that's very clear: the Torah is nishna lebedik Torah. It's not a Torah's kind. It's fancy, beautiful, interesting ideas, but it's not talking to me, because the only thing the kid understands at that age is me, and what they see about me is something weird that's going on in their body. So then the Siv says the Baruch Shalom is saying va'amartem aleihem. The Torah is not hiding anything. The Torah is a Torah of life. I created you this way. I want this to be learned deeply. It's a sugi and Torah yesod. I want it to be learned in its tznizdika way, in the right way. I want it with a Rebbe. I want it with a parent. I don't want it on the street. I don't want it in magazines. I don't want it on the internet. But it's a Torah's chayim. And the second that a kid begins to think that there's a part of his life that the Torah does not address, and not only there's a part of his life, but it's what he recognizes as life itself. Because that's the most important thing to a kid, and he doesn't talk to anybody about it. He's embarrassed. He doesn't know what to do. So from that point on, that the kid thinks that there's Torah, and Torah is about animals goring each other and stuff like that, and losing something and returning it. And what about the other stuff? The other stuff is called preaches. Preaches was one of the first words of Lashon Kodesh that I knew. And I didn't hear it from my father. But from the time that I was in school, I heard preaches. Everything was preaches. Preaches. And the kid will begin to understand that subject of the body and of what happens with the body and the inyan of Yosef Tzaddik, it's preaches. Nice people don't think about it. Nice people don't talk about it. So then what happens to them is the boys, where do they go? They go outside and they go underground. They go into that mysterious world of the chevra, of the friends, of the magazines, of the internet. Because they got to find out about it. They have to find out about it. It's their life. They don't understand anything else about life. They don't get the economy. They don't get politics. The one thing they get is what's going on. Something weird is happening. All of a sudden, next door neighbor's little girl looks different to me. Something's going on. And I'm interested in seeing more of that, And that's what they know. I don't care if it's from Meir Sharm or he's from Montana. Every kid in the world gets that. And if he begins to think that there's Torah, Ad Kan, and then there's preaches, we've lost them. This is what's happening. Rabbi say, this is what's happening. They'll sit on the Gemara Shir. Some of them will even be Mitsuyanim. There are many yeshivas that claim that they only have Mitsuyanim. You don't think that only Bechnis is allowed to talk about those things, right? Whether you're a Mitsuyan or you're not a Mitsuyan. This is what they're thinking about. They could try to forget about it and not think about it, and they could throw themselves into learning. But im hacharesh tacharishi. But if we're going to be silent, we're going to lose them. At ubeis avich tayved. We're going to lose them, and we're losing them. There's a beautiful boy who I know personally who last night died. Who died? I was 26, 27 years old, who died. What did he die from? There are all kinds of explanations. But he was dying for the past 15 years. He just died on Shabbos. He died on Shabbos, a beautiful boy. But he's been dying for 15 years. Are you okay? Yeah. Everything all right? Sure. You're not into learning? Doesn't work for me. How about davening? No. He was dying for 15 years. And yesterday on Shabbos, he died. At ubeis avich toved. Ubeis avich, because we're going to be blamed, because we're the parents and the grandparents. Who else is going to help them? We can't depend upon the therapists. That's for picking up the pieces and trying to put them together later. They're good people. They're doing a lot. We can't watch them die. We can't watch them die.
Thank you for listening to the Guard Your Eyes Daily Chizuk broadcast. Pass them on to your friends and help spread Kedusha in the world.